Hi, this is Leigh, and this is Alchemy Intuitive Arts. I'd like to welcome you to my channel. I am your tour guide to take you on a cosmic trip across the spiritual galaxy. So if that piques your interest, then punch your ticket and let's go. With that said, I'd like to welcome all my new subscribers. Thank you. And I'd like to welcome all my returning visitors. And if you're not subscribed, well, why not? Today I was having a moment. I've been thinking a lot about this video, and on my way over to record this video, which I record in the park, I was listening to the Queen song, and it's called Under Pressure. And so I'm going to put an insert here with words. Love, 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 love. Insanity laughs under pressure, we're breaking. Can't we give ourselves one more chance? Why can't we give love just one more chance? Why can't we give love, give love, give love, give love? So I think the words are pretty appropriate. Dog hair. I have a white dog, so she gets hair everywhere. Anyways, the words to Under Pressure seem to be very appropriate regarding what I've been thinking about today. And today we're going to talk about being grateful for the people that we love. We're going to talk about energy, and we're going to talk about the unintended consequences of our thoughts and our energy. This week we had a very important person in our life pass away, and this very important person, this loved one, was a very young person, and he had a very good soul. You know what they say, the good die young. Well, this certainly is the case with him. And I know that this has been the case with other people in my life as well. I have lost other people, what would be considered prematurely. And our thoughts and prayers go out to the family of this young man, and also to his safe crossing. Rest in peace. When somebody passes in our life, it makes us reflect on that person and reflect on ourselves and reflect on what we could do differently. So the idea is that we have gratitude for the people we love, and we try not to be inconsiderate of the way that they enhance our lives. And it brings up the thought of when we get frustrated with people, we can get frustrated with our mates or our friends or our children, etc. And we can maybe say or do things that aren't good. Oh my God. I literally cannot do this video. I have tried so many times and nothing seems to sound right. Maybe I'm not ready to make this video. But let me try. We want to be grateful for those around us, and sometimes there's people in our lives that we're not feeling a lot of gratitude for. Maybe somebody's pissed you off. Maybe it's somebody at work. Maybe it's somebody you're in a relationship with. Maybe it's your child. Maybe it's your parent. Maybe it's your family. It's a karmic relationship. There's some imbalance. You have a lesson to learn. And oftentimes when we get triggered by other people, it's because, guess what? We're having a lesson. It's lesson time. We're back in school. And that person was guided into your life to help you master that lesson. And some lessons are easier to master than others. And some lessons many people don't master for a whole lifetime. They'll re-encounter those lessons and they never master them. Now, keep in mind, sometimes people may not master lessons because of some sort of trauma that they've dealt with that has caused them to, have a great difficulty at mastering things. Or perhaps there's some kind of generational curse that has taught them to not deal with things, or to deal with things in ways that are ineffective. We've all met those people in our lives, those people who don't deal with their lessons. And we have been those people who don't want to deal with our lessons. We are required to try and master each of these lessons. And if we don't, we're going to have frustration. We're going to have negative energy. We're going to wish ill upon people. We may malign their character. We may think bad thoughts. We may, depending on who we are, we might get up to some dark magic. We may be gossiping or whatever it is. However it is that we have chosen to take that lesson or not take that lesson. And when we choose to deal with a lesson in the form of sending negative energy to another individual or individuals, we are creating bad karma. We are creating bad debt in our life. If we are targeting somebody with energy, You know, if we are consciously targeting somebody and wishing ill on them, and if that person is adept at protecting themselves, or if they are at a place in their spiritual evolution that their frequency is high enough to recognize that bad energy is coming towards them, and they protect their spiritual body, they protect their family, that bad energy may have an unintended consequence. An unintended consequence could be something that happens in your very own life. So if you're sending somebody bad energy and you start seeing crap happens, that may be because of something you sent out that's coming back to you. So it's so important that we recognize our thoughts, that we cleanse our thoughts, that we do what we can to stay in positive energy, because you never know, that bad energy that you're sending out can have an unintended consequence to your family, to you, or to your situation. It's very critical that we recognize and try and consciously keep our thoughts in positivity. And especially if you're dealing with negative situations, or if you're a chosen one, you might have a bunch of negative energy headed towards you. Or if somebody's jealous of you or envious of you, they may be sending you negative energy. And so it's critical that we do our spiritual protection, that we keep our spiritual body in order, and that we try and keep our own life in balance. Meaning, we are working on our shadow side, and we're working on our light side, and we're trying to find a balance, because anytime we're off balance in one way or the other, those consequences can be unintended. That can even be if you're overzealous to the point of you're believe that you're a good person and you're maligning people who you think are bad people, but you consider yourself of God, of goodness. If you are judging or maligning other people and putting negative thoughts towards them, but you go to church every Sunday, well, guess what? You're out of balance. And on the other side, if you're indulging your shadow side to the point of lust and greed and envy and making all those things important in your life, more important than anything else, then of course you're going to be out of balance, and you're going to have to bring that balance back. And whatever imbalance we have, we are going to have a karmic lesson which will be presented to us, and we have our free will as to whether or not we're going to try and correct that. And if you choose not to correct it, it's just going to keep going. And it can keep going to the point of where you are going to have to make some significant change in your life. Oftentimes people want to blame somebody else for their dark night of the soul, for their tower moment, for their being unhappy, facing consequences. But whatever we experience is basically a mirror of what we need to learn. And so when we begin to recognize that, and when we begin to try and put our life into balance, then we will find that life flows a little easier. We're a little happier. And we are building up spiritual dharma, which is basically good karma. It's like putting money in the bank account, putting money in your savings account. So it's important to recognize when you send out those negative thoughts, how powerful your thoughts can be. Many people don't realize how powerful their own thoughts are. We are not taught that we are spiritual beings. We are taught we're just a bag of flesh, and we might have some thoughts about God or the Bible or this or that, which is valid, but we're not taught how to live often in a spiritual way. And so we must recognize that within ourselves and try and take control of our own lives and teach our children how to recognize that they are a spiritual being, how they can live in a higher vibration, and teach them tools. Of course, I've talked about the tools many times, but with kids, teaching them how to funnel their anger in a way that's positive. Getting them out into nature, teaching them things that create joy for themselves, not just putting them in front of a screen and, letting somebody else teach them. Art, dance, creative outlets, activities, running, jogging, having fun, being with good friends, not just any friends, but good friends. These are all positive ways, teaching children to protect themselves, to get their energy out in constructive and positive ways, and for them to recognize that not everybody out there is good, and to recognize which children that they're aligning with. Are they aligning with good friends or bad friends? There's a lot of bad friends. I have children, and they have had bad friends in their lives, and fortunately they are not in their lives anymore, and the parents you're not always able to recognize if the parents are good right away. So it's very important to keep these things in mind when we're teaching our children. And of course, I'm no expert, but I've been through a few things with the school system, with friends of my children, also with people around me. So the whole goal is to recognize yourself as a spiritual body and recognize your energy, and to teach the people around you when it is appropriate about their spiritual body. When we do this, we are creating positive outcome for ourselves and our family, and we are breaking generational curses. So, with that said, peace, love. Thank you.